Guys, hello and welcome to the inaugural edition of the MVP show. I'm your host, Ron G. I'm here with my guy, Diego, aka the GM, Breaker Extraordinaire. And we have a special guest for you guys on the show today, New York Met, MJ Melendez. MJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, buddy. I appreciate you coming down. So, a lot to talk about here in our inaugural show. I want to kick it off with a little bit about how I got into the hobby, give you guys a quick origin story because it really relates to our guests on the show. So 2017, I'm chasing Aaron Judge cards. One of the first sets I fall in love with, 2017 Topps Chrome, 2017 Bowman Draft, which for me was one of the most beautiful sets. I don't know if you can zoom in on that get a good look at it, but absolutely love this set. And like I told you, bud, I was chasing your cards. I had pretty much orange all the way back. This is the last one I hung on to. So I guess it was about a month and a half ago. I checked my IG. I'm in Vegas and I'm looking and see MJ Melendez. I'm like, it's got to be a goof. There's no way I'm getting a message from MJ. Sure enough, MJ told me about a few shops in Vegas. I went and checked them out. And he's been an awesome supporter of our shop. So I know you brought one of your cards with you, buddy.
I did. We got my superfractor of my Bowman first, and obviously it's in a black label. Super sick to have. I'm still looking for the auto version if anybody happens to know where that is. But it's definitely one of my most prized cards, and definitely love it.
Absolutely, man. Beautiful card. So one of the things I want to talk about, Diego and I don't know if you caught it last night, but we're down at the World Baseball Classic. Absolutely amazing game. One of the things I'm thinking about while I'm sitting there, so obviously it's a pressure game.
Mm-hmm.
So give me an idea, what's the difference pressure-wise? You're in a Major League Baseball game, you're on a global scale.
Yeah, it's very different. Obviously, I mean, there were some guys that talked about it from Team Venezuela. I know like Mike Hill talked about it, Salvi talked about it a little bit. It's so different, you know. Obviously, you know, you're playing in the big leagues, you're playing for your team, you know, who sometimes drafted you, sometimes they traded for you, however they picked you up. And you're trying to win the World Series, of course. That's like super important. And it's, you know, you take a lot of pride in that. But it's something different too to represent your country,
Sure.
you know, your bloodline, your heritage, your family, and you know everyone around. And you know, I know for them specifically, I'm pretty close with Michael and Salvi. Haven't played with them over the years. You know, it means a lot to them to represent, you know, their country. So it's super cool to, you know, kind of see them, you know, bring that home. I know it meant a lot to them and the fans of Venezuela.
So just to echo that, I've been to World Series games. I've been to World Series in Yankee Stadium. The energy in that stadium from pitch number one from the Venezuela fans throughout that entire game
Insane.
was absolutely magnetic, buddy. I've never seen any situation like that on a baseball field in my life.
It's loud. I always, the loudest game I ever played in was in 2023 when we played the Dominican Republic in Miami at WBC. It was incredible, dude. Like I I think it was probably like the second or third inning. I came back into the dugout after playing defense, and I had to take Advil because I had a headache.
Sure.
I've never had joy in the game, like never had a headache in the baseball game, and that was the first time because it was so loud.
Yep.
And it was incredible. Like the atmosphere is great, and what I love about WBC too is like I feel like it just helps grow the game even more. Like I'm seeing people post about it on social media on Instagram that like I didn't even know they followed baseball, and you know people from different countries too. Like
Yeah, man.
it's just like, hey, like, you know, you're representing and, you know, your country. And it's super cool. And I think even just baseball fans in general can appreciate that because it's like, it just means a lot.
Definitely agree. But I think there was at least 2 times in the last inning where Salvi had to go out to the mound
Yeah.
because the closer
Oh, yeah.
couldn't hear anything
It's crazy.
that was going on. So
It brings a whole different dynamic with cultures as well. It almost felt like a soccer match where
Yeah,
you know the
for sure.
drums were banging the whole time, and you know it was just magnetic, and the vibes were insane. I mean, I've never been to a baseball game quite like that.
it's different.
have
It's
to
different.
agree. It was definitely like being at a World Cup soccer match,
No
completely
doubt.
different than any other baseball experience. So I appreciate that, man. I was
Yeah.
always curious. For me as a fan in the stands, I'm engaged. I'm on the edge of my seat. I could only imagine what you guys are feeling.
It's intense. It's intense to say the least, and it's a lot more intense than a playoff game too. I've been blessed to experience both of them, and it's a different level of intenseness for
So
sure.
here's my follow-up question to that. So what I'm thinking, is there a practice? Is there a technique you're using to center yourself,
Yeah.
dissipate some of that energy?
Yeah, I think everybody kind of like has their own way of, attacking situations like that or handling moments and situations like that. For me, I like to embrace it. I feel like if you can kind of embrace that and kind of like go along with that flow instead of like trying to go against it, it makes it easier for me. It's like, all right, like all, the positive energy that we're getting from the fans, like embrace that and use it to like channel into, obviously you're going to be focused, but like embrace that. Like, hey, when you get a big hit or something, like pump up the crowd. Like you don't just be like, I don't like just be like like static and just be like, oh yeah, I just got a hit, or just like, oh yeah. Like I want to be like pumping up the crowd. Like,
Sure.
do you want to feed into the energy? I think that, like the fans really appreciate that. It's what makes the World Baseball Classic so different because, you can just tell the players are just like so intense about it. Like you don't see, like guys like Otani, like when does he ever bat flip? Like he doesn't. I've seen maybe like once or twice maybe,
Yep.
and I've seen it, in the last two World Baseball Classics he's played in. Like same thing, Harper, and he's a little bit more out there, but like you see him yesterday, like pointing at the flag,
Oh, yeah.
like pointing at the
He did a salute
camera,
coming around
did
third
a
base too, and
salute.
and that was kind of a slow trot that
Exactly,
yeah, he was not
exactly.
rushing
He
Judge,
embraced, he
same
around the
definitely embraced
bases
that
for
bro,
moment.
sure.
same thing with Aaron
Yeah.
Judge. Like Aaron Judge is not like he's not going to be doing the most, and you can tell when he had the big moments and stuff, or when other guys had big moments, he was more amped up. So it's cool. It brings out the most competitive side of people, I feel like.
Definitely cool to hear, man. I'm thinking of bat flip, and I know Abreu in the semifinal. I
Yeah,
think he's got a bat flip where the bat still hasn't landed.
the,
He's
that's
flipped
still
that thing
waiting
so
on
high
that
in
one.
the air. So that's awesome, man. Really, the next segue I have, I know I'm a Yankee fan, and you and I have talked about this before, where I'm glad to see you moving over to the other league because you absolutely kill us, dude. So you've played games in New York, so I know you're gonna be a Met now playing regularly. Um, any difference from Kansas City mentality wise?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's definitely a bigger market. Everything is under the microscope. It's pretty cool. I've got to experience, coming up with the team I got drafted by, and being in a smaller market.
Sure.
And have played against teams like the Yankees, the Mets, all the big market teams, the Dodgers, and kind of seeing like how the fan interaction is. I know there's positives and negatives to everything, but just looking at the positives of it, it's super cool, like how engaged they are. They
Yeah, man.
they really care, of course. The team wants to win, and that's a great thing. Looks like going to be really competitive, and now it's about just going out there and proving that, and just excited for all those things, and all the challenges to come for sure.
It's exciting stuff, man. I know I was watching this morning and Nolan. So I was watching Nolan. I thought he pitched phenomenal
Yeah,
last
he had
night.
a great game, other than one little mistake. I mean,
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I was watching this video and it was like an overhead to the side shot,
Mhm.
and it showed his sweeper. And this thing was
87 miles an hour.
filthy,
Yeah.
man, like
Yeah.
wiffle ball. Just the break on it was phenomenal, man. So yeah, I appreciate that as far as playing in New York. I grew up in New York, and
I'm excited.
fans are locked in, buddy.
I'm a little bit scared about traffic and stuff, but other than that, it's gonna be exciting
We'll
for
be sure
sure.
to give you the good subway route. But
Yeah.
so here's the other thing on my mind. So what got you in to collecting cards? Was it when I'm thinking, okay, you start signing these cards, you're like, hey, they're pretty cool. So did you get into the hobby after you started signing cards, or were you collecting before?
So I think when I was signing the cards, it definitely interested me. It was really cool to be like, okay, like now I have my first professional card.
I do.
Obviously, we're signing all the cards and everything is numbered in seven. You can't just take whatever. I was like, I wish I could just take one of these. I couldn't. But it definitely interested me. And then I probably got into it more once my rookie cards had come out. So I made my debut in 22. So right around like 2023 is when I got more into it because I guess now looking back on it, the Bowman first is like, what everybody wants and baseball card, that's the best autos. But I didn't know that really as I was coming up. So I never was like trying to get my Bowman first or anything. And then I was like, oh, like I want to get my rookie cards. Like that's gonna be like the best card. Obviously, it's not, but that's kind of how I started getting more into it. Was started collecting my own cards and trying to get some of my lower numbered cards, the 1 of 1s and stuff like that. And it's definitely gradually evolved a lot more. Now it's a lot of football, a lot of basketball, still some baseball. Getting more into baseball honestly this year. But yeah, it's definitely evolved.
So if I had to take a guess, so first of all, I had a feeling. I was like, I bet he was signing his cards. And he was like, hey, these are cool. I want my stuff. So if I had to take a guess, I know you and Bobby Witt are close friends.
Yep.
You guys played together. So my guess would be the next player you segued into was picking up Bobby's cards.
Yeah, for sure. For baseball, it's I'm a lot more like limited on what I really like.
Sure.
Obviously, Bobby, one of my closest friends, um, and obviously what he does on the field is incredible. So I've always, had started collecting his cards. When I started collecting in general, I was like, all right, like let me collect guys that I play with, guys that I'm close with. So he was one of him. Obviously, like Kai's is another, big name that, I know the card community is definitely looking at. So it's cool to have those guys that, I have personal relationships with and have played with to like, go and collect their cards. And it's not easy, especially with Bobby. His stuff is really crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, but it's like that. And then, hopefully this year start getting some Lindors and some Sotos, but won't be easy either.
So most collectors like me, big baseball fan. Obviously, at some point we cross over into football, and it's like, well, I'm just going to do football and baseball. And before you know it, you're buying your first basketball box. So
Yep.
again, I'll take a shot in the dark here. You played in Kansas City. The first football card that you picked up, Patrick Mahomes.
Most
I
definitely.
knew it.
Yeah, he obviously see it just happens to be all like these big time players and it's not easy. It's
Nothing
not
wrong,
easy at all
sure.
because everybody it's like, oh, like who's your football PC? And almost everybody is like, oh yeah, I like, this and the other, but Mahomes. It's like, yeah, like he's, arguably, gonna be one of the best, if not the best quarterback to ever play, him and Tom Brady. So he's definitely on the PC list, and have been fortunate enough to meet him a couple times, and obviously watched a lot of his games in person. They're at Arrowhead Stadium,
Yeah, man.
and even the Super Bowl in Arizona when they came back and beat the Eagles. So he's definitely a top football PC for me.
And it's really a good parallel because I've had a tax firm out in Kansas City. So I've been to Kauffman Stadium. Arrowhead is right across the
Yep.
parking lot. And to draw the parallel with New York, believe it or not, it's pretty close. One of the first time, I don't think I've ever seen it, but the Royals fans actually tailgate before baseball games. I've
Yeah,
never seen
they
that.
do.
So Royal fans from pitch one. So I've been out there in June. The stadium's always full. Like they don't miss games. You show up in New York and sometimes you're gonna see it's the 6 inning, there's nobody there. People are on their phones. Not
Yeah.
like that in Kansas City. They're locked in pitch one all the way through to the end. So that always impressed me about Kansas City because
They
it's
are.
a small market, but huge sport fan community, and you guys definitely got some huge names out
Yeah,
there
most definitely.
now for
Definitely.
sure. So give me an idea, product wise, what is it that you're chasing these days?
Yeah, I feel like this is like something for me that is always constantly changing, obviously with new products that come out and everything like that. So it's always evolving. Lately, this spring, I've been on a big Bowman draft kick, which is like something very new for me personally.
It gets very addictive.
Like I said, like it's not. I don't always do a ton of baseball, but Bowman draft has just been fun because it's so different. Like you don't know who's going to be, who's ever the top chaser right now may not be a top chase in 5-10 years,
Yeah.
and 5-10 years from now, some guy may be a top chase that nobody was really collecting. back, now. So that's what I've been into, especially baseball wise. Football, you gotta love Prism. At least while it's lasted, Prism has been really cool for me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's coming in the future, what Topps is gonna do with football and basketball. But yeah, Prism for sure, and Optic, those are always fun. Case hits are really cool in those products.
Definitely a good tie-in. Diego here is Mr. Bowman draft prospect, buddy. He's always got his favorites every year, as I do. Give me an idea, buddy. Who's your target list? I don't know if you want to divulge and let the cat out of the bag, or everybody's gonna be chasing all your top prospects this early.
I'll give you one. He doesn't have a card yet. I suspect and I'm hoping that in 26 Bowman, when that releases in the springtime, Andrew Fisher, he played for Team Italy. He's a Milwaukee Brewer, third baseman. He had a heck of a World Baseball Classic. So that's my target personally. That's who I'll be chasing when the new product comes out.
So well, I got a question too, though. What would you say from whenever you started really chasing the prospects in terms of baseball wise? What's your batting average on your hits versus the not so?
Man, it was pretty darn good up until one recently. I kind of got cooked on Anthony Volpe. I fell for the next Derek Jeter storyline, and I really invested heavily in Anthony Volpe. Unfortunately, that one didn't pan out. But I'd say overall, maybe like a 275 lifetime.
Okay, that's not bad. That's a solid average.
So one of the cool things, if you look at the trend, if you go back to 2016, was Soto and Pete Alonso. Moving into 17 and 18, you had Otani, Acuna,
Robert was in there.
Lewis Robert cards. Now for me, talking about low batting average, my swing and miss was Estevan Florial, but I had the rainbow. I had 8 blues, 7 golds. He was my chase, but it worked out because even though I wasn't chasing those guys, I ended up with a ton of Acuna, a ton of Otani cards.
Yep.
So the bonus was, there are other guys that did pan out, but it's
a cool thing. You don't know who's going to pan out in Bowman. So, obviously people who like to flip and stuff, timing is everything. And you like to collect, maybe you end up with a card that's worth, $50,000+, and you got it for, almost nothing comparatively.
Have you ripped any Prism Black yet?
I actually haven't.
No Prism Black.
No Prism Black.
It's an interesting product. It's
is it
vet heavy?
That's is it the football?
It's a new football.
But that's the one where it's no rookies, right?
Correct. So it's in a transitionary period, so they don't have technically the ability to put the new rookies in there, but there's a lot of vets in there. I know Dan Marino and Drew Brees are kind of 2 headliners. Peyton Manning's got autographs in there as well. And the big thing is the NIL guys. So Arch Manning has some monster autographs in that, and it's fully licensed because they hold the Texas license for that. So he's a big chase.
Does Mahomes sign in that or no?
No
Mahomes.
He had his own set. Didn't they have own
very expensive.
I was watching one guy rip the box, and it was 3 layers.
Yep.
And the dude uncovers layer 1. There's 3 monster autos.
Yep.
And the next layer, then that couldn't be a common box.
I saw a couple of those ripped. I saw some pretty decent ones. I saw some really rough ones.
Right.
And that's that's a product that's it's a little too scary for
me.
It'd be cool to hit that really monster. I know there's a few monster cards in there. I think there's a 1/1 Kaboom in there.
Sure.
That would be so cool. But what's the odds,
That's a good segue though. So we talked about the meat and potato cards, Bowman, Prism. For me, I'm always an NT flawless.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I like. So moving forward, we've seen Topps 3 come out, basketball, which are to me is kind of upper level, but what happens next? What is the answer? Is it royalty? Diego's our product guy. So
I think royalty has to become an absolute staple for all of the high-end products. They need to make some sort of transcendent. I think that would be the ultimate. If they can do a briefcase style transcendent football, transcendent basketball. I mean, there's no reason not to. And they have to put Dynasty. To me, Dynasty is my absolute favorite product that comes out every year for baseball. I am a glutton for that. And right now, with the prices the way they are, it's absolute punishment more than likely. But it's still enjoyable to rip. Everything's game worn, on card autos, 10 or less, and then they have the verticals that are 5 or less. I mean, those to me are my favorites.
But you don't think for that price point for Dynasty that you maybe put more than one card in there? Like, you
It
would
would be
hope, right?
nice.
Like,
To me, instead of making more cards, I would just say shorten the checklist and just
yeah,
make the players that you are putting in there as notable as possible. I know
right.
there has to be a ceiling and a floor, but maybe for that product, don't do a floor.
So always felt like there was too many different players, right? But one of the things that I always wanted them to do, like, what does that set run? It's everything is to 15, I think, right?
Dynasties to 10 or less.
So to me, Dynasty would be the perfect answer to like an NT.
Right.
So why wouldn't they put like RPAs to 99 in there?
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather, that's how you kind of combat, hey, you don't want to put all these,
Yeah.
random lesser players with low value, but bulk up and let's get the
Mm.
RPAs in there. The other products that come to mind, Definitive is always one of my favorites. 5-star.
Yep.
And baseball does diamond icons. It was like
Yeah,
diamond icons.
yeah.
Triple Threads product. I mean, the way that the last one, I think it was 2024 with the last Triple Threads, where there was a 10-box case instead of a monster 16-box case.
Mhm.
Those cases were absolutely loaded. We ran 2 case breaks. I mean, from start to finish, there wasn't one single bad box. If they could just formulate that for all the sports across, I think that's a
How
home run
about like
product.
museum collection?
I like
Good one.
museum collection.
That's
My
another
issue with
unique
that outside of it's the quality control at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
it's for a product at that price, there shouldn't be sticker autos. I'm sorry.
Very-
Like the
very
gold
good.
frames are great. I love the new black frames that they put in with the game worn, patches that are embedded into it. But you can't make that a sticker auto. Can't.
So I know a couple of the big ones that I've seen with basketball. It was unlicensed last year, but I ripped one box, hit a LeBron, was Topps Royalty. Topps
Phenomenal.
Royalty is definitely a
Absolutely
huge
beautiful.
product.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so if you had to give me a guess, like what's the pinnacle product? What's the NT,
I
so to
think,
speak, the
yeah,
chase card for each
yeah.
rookie?
I think like for me, I'm thinking like top product. I'm thinking like Transcendent. I don't know. I think it's different. I think that's more like a flawless.
True.
I think it's more of a
I would say that.
flawless
Yep.
than an
Very true.
NT.
Yep.
Maybe like NT. Maybe like definitive. Maybe it's like
They could pull it off with Definitive.
I think that
Definitive's got a lot of patch
It
autos.
has to
Yeah.
be done right.
Yeah,
has
it
to be
does.
done
It
right.
does. And it's like too, like, kind of going back to that is, obviously still unlicensed. Like what's a true gonna do, or like say for football, what's an NFL Shield non-licensed gonna do auto, like one of one, or stuff like that. Like what
Yeah.
it's hard to really say, and what it's
That's
gonna
my
do.
biggest question mark moving forward. I want to know what's filling that void.
Yeah.
What's the rookie card?
They have to produce a Transcend. There's no reason not to. To me, like as a collector, that's a bucket list type of rip. Like I would, in my dreams, love to get a briefcase.
Like
and
MJ
just-
is saying, that's more like
Yeah.
a flawless. That's that big like $40,000 box,
Right.
and it's a
right.
group break type of thing. NT's, more,
Yeah.
more fluid, more access.
I still think the next tier's got to be Dynasty if done right.
I would agree with that. I
Mhm.
think if you add those RPAs to 99 and to 10 to
Yep.
5, perfect product.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, then there's no reason not to do multiple hits in a box where now you're guaranteed a rookie. That's where I would guarantee every box, the rookie to 99.
Yeah.
Now you can have your run of rookies and then have your to 10s and
Because like you
lowers.
say, you never know who's gonna be. I know it comes out after the season usually, but still, somebody could have just an okay, rookie season and end up blowing up and being amazing,
Yeah.
and vice versa. If somebody has an amazing rookie season, it may not be, as good as people thought. So
Yeah, for sure.
just it's always, you never know.
So with that in mind, April is supposed to be our first football product.
Okay.
So we had a little bit of a meeting yesterday. It's kind of hazy. We were traveling down to the game. In your opinion, what do you think the first Topps football product that gets dropped? Do they do flagship? Do
It's
they do
so
chrome?
this is not based on anything Topps told us. This is just me being somebody that's on social media all the time and I follow a lot of players. Topps Chrome is going to be the first, and there's going to be Topps Chrome Sapphire football as well. I know this because I've seen Matthew Golden sign his Sapphire autos. They're on card, which is amazing. And I saw Jaden Daniels have a full lineup of. I mean, I hate the way he threw them on social media. They were literally, if you go see that picture, it's kind of comical, but he threw all the cards out there. And I mean, he signed a lot of cards, but they look to be on card as well. So Topps Chrome football looks like it's going to be the first one. They should have hobbies, and usually they do jumbos and the lights and blasters and megas. So there should be a full array of product for everybody to be able to rip and different price points.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I mean, just to see the difference, and unfortunately, guys like that, they don't have the true rookie autos where it's licensed like Jaden Data and stuff like that. But I think moving forward to, like, obviously there's always going to be the hot rookies that everybody's going to be going after. So to have that in the top form is going to be very cool to see that difference from what Panini has been doing over the years.
Absolutely. And I also think what's cool that Topps is doing, they're introducing these shorter printed vet autos. I mean, look at Jalen Brunson's first Topps Chrome in an orange on card. As a Knicks fan, that's a huge card. King of New York.
Yeah, I hit one. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have anything for Panini, and the next upcoming Bowman product is going to have vets and the Bowman first for basketball. Anthony Edwards is going to have his first Topps license autograph in that. Shea is going to have his first like full lineup of cards and not just short printed. So I mean, that's fun. I think these are cool things that collectors for these types of products for the sports are really going to look for, and not just be rookie chasing and have their favorite vets that have on card autographs for the first time with their license. I think that's fun.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Guys, awesome show, man. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
coming down. In case you don't know, we have our Jensen Beach card shows coming up April 4th right here in the Jensen Beach Mall. If you guys missed it last time, you definitely want to come and check that out. If you haven't been on our social media, we do have our break room link is posted on top of our IG page. So if you guys like breaks, you want to join our Discord group, we encourage you to do that. If you haven't been down to the shop, come down and check it out. This is going to be a regular show, guys. So I appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you for the next episode.